Hello, America. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my review of Married at First Sight, Season 8, Episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. I have my notes. It's a snow day for school, not a snow day for my voice lesson, which is kind of shitty. But, oh, and it's also my husband's birthday. Happy birthday, husband. I love you, boy. He is 51 years old today. Nah, okay. He is 31 years old today. It's cold as hell in the great state of Ohio. Bro, I before I start talking, number one, before I start talking, I have a Patreon now. Um, it is $3 a month. You can join my Patreon. You can get access to cooking videos, get access to music, get access to karaoke nights, get access to bonus podcasts, everything that you want, but more. Okay, me, but more. Okay. Also, my podcast is coming out. Another thing, bro, it's cold as fuck in the great state of Ohio. Fuck Ohio, to be quite honest. It's cold as fuck here. I was reading something that said that Cleveland, Ohio is the third most stressed out city, and then it was like Toledo, Akron, all of that stuff. We stressed. Financial stress, family stress. I'm ready to get the hell up out this city, this state and city, okay? Because I'm not about to be up here dying. Okay. I also have a couple of songs that are out. My website is in the process of transferring, so it will be here maybe in about a week. I just want my website to be up. But in the meantime, you can check out my business website, airmacrecords.com. You can check out my music. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and do all of that. The couples are leaving Costa Rica. I think they have about 2 days before they move into their designated homes that the experts have picked out for them. Okay, so we see Keith and Christine. They're going to Keith's grandmother's house because they both live with their parents. Keith said that he lived with his mother for like 10 years and then he was like, oh, it's banging over grandma's house. That's kind of how it was with my mama, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think my mother stayed with Sweet Kate, which would be her grandmother, my great grandmother. And my auntie stayed with Mima, which would be their mother, my grandmother, if I'm not mistaken. But I know the exact reason why he probably stayed with his grandmother, because grandmothers spoil you and they let you do whatever, and they not as tough as your mama. So he probably was like, I ain't got to do nothing over grandma's house, so I'm gonna stay over here. How much you want to bet? Because I can bet $1,000,000. They go into his bedroom and his bedroom is just like not the business at all. Christine is like, we might have to stay in a hotel because I don't know what the fuck is going on here. His grandmother is so cute. So then the pastor comes and he asks, Keith was like, I mean, you missed it on height and on you missed it on height and on booty, but I'm okay with it. Like, shut the fuck up. Pastor Calvin asked them, have they talked about finances? She says, yes, we've talked about finances. Since he doesn't make as much as me, I'm just going to take over. Also, he like, well, I'm more of a traditional man when it comes to gender roles. So, she got to be cooking every night and I don't really like to cook. First of all, how are you a traditional man when it comes to gender roles, but you sitting up here going to let your wife pay for everything? Because because she makes more than you? No. No. If you're for traditional gender roles, then you going to pay some money. I'm confused. So the pastor was like, so you telling me she gonna be taking on the financial responsibility and cooking every night because this man does not know how to cook, nor does he want to learn how to cook? He says, well, I've been spoiled, so I just been doing a lot. If you hear noise in the background, it's my fucking cat. Anyway, I just been spoiled, so that's just who I am. It's not cute to be a 30-year-old man who is spoiled. It's not cute. It's not the wave. And I don't think that he should have gotten married or even came on this show if you was going to sit up here and boast about how cute it is that you are a spoiled ass nigga. It don't make no sense to me. It just doesn't. It doesn't. He doesn't. He says, well, my grandmama took care of me, so, I don't cook, I eat. We all eat. I ain't got nothing to say. Because fucking with me, your ass ain't gonna eat. Okay? Fucking with me, your ass is not gonna eat. Okay? You're not. Because this is, no, I'm not gonna allow this. They haven't had sex yet because they both are like, well, you're a new person. I don't want to have sex with you. The pastor is like, well, you guys are married. You're allowed to do what married people do. Don't let the way that you all met inhibit, y'all feelings toward one another. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be out here, having sex. Or I'd have very, very plain, just sex. No theatrics, because I don't know you like that. But I probably wouldn't have sex at all, because that's no. Anyway, they're packing. He says he's always lived with a woman, so it's not going to be difficult for him living with a woman. First of all, you've always lived with a family member, okay? You've never lived with a significant other, so it is going to be different. Okay, because my husband has lived with his mama, his sister, and his brother, but I'm pretty sure it's different living with me. Okay, I've never lived with a man as far as like, a father or whatever, but I didn't know this man. I mean, even though he don't really do nothing, my husband don't really have any qualms or anything, and he definitely helps me in the kitchen. I'm not to that point yet. Anyway, so Christine is cooking. She's making something. I don't know what she's making, but she cooking, okay? He comes in the kitchen. He like, "Oh, this smells good." Then she's like, "You want to help?" He's like, "No." I wish my husband would. And I know I look a mess. I know people say don't say you look a mess, but I know that I look less than great, okay? But I wish that my husband would open up his mouth and say, "No, I'm not going to help you in the kitchen." He's tried it a couple of times, and I'm like, "Well, I'm just not cooking." There is no reason nor point for you. You can't cut up no broccoli, bro. Huh? You can't cut up no mushrooms? You can't cut up no onions? What holiday came? I think Christmas. I did a Japanese style Christmas. And I had my husband cut up all the vegetables. Cut up these mushrooms, cut up this, cut up that, cut up the cucumbers. Because I was making sushi, I was making ramen, I didn't make my miso soup. But I'm like, cut up everything. Because I am not going to sit here and have to do this. I'm not. Moving on. I'm sorry. He goes outside. He makes the backyard look nice. I'm like, who bought all these candles? Were they just in the house? Where did he get all these candles? Anyway, the house is really nice. I love that unlimited lifetime budget. These networks be hooking y'all up. Can we keep this house, or y'all gonna make us move? Because this house is very nice. Got a little koi pond and everything. He makes the backyard look good. She comes out, she brings the food. He likes the food, so now, they're happy. We do find out that Keith works 4 nights a week overnight, 10 hours a night at the hospital, so he's going to be gone. So she is feeling a little bit, sad because they haven't spent any time apart since they got married, but that's good. That's good. I'm glad that he's leaving, because this will give you time to, okay? Sometimes I love when my husband goes to work, okay? And I know he sometimes love when I go to work, okay? Because next we see AJ and Stephanie. They go to AJ's apartment. I think they're gonna stay the 2 nights there. It's small and bachelor influenced, should I say? And it's not big enough for 2 people. AJ said he paid for location and not space, so he said, "Take a look around. This is it. Here's the kitchen. Here's the bathroom. Here's the bedroom. Turn, 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 and you're back. Hey, how are you?" That's exactly. They don't even say, they say in Philadelphia, so he must like be downtown Philadelphia. I guess the places downtown here are expensive, but who the fuck want to live downtown here? Trash, trash. So they go see Philly and they go sightsee. He hasn't been to a lot of, you know, famous landmarks, and she has, so she takes him around. She's like, "I've always wanted to do this with someone. I've always done this by myself, so it's really nice to have someone to hold hands and, walk around with and be all lovey-dovey. The normal stuff." Okay. They look like a good couple. They look like a good couple. They look like they can make this work and they can make this last. And maybe their personalities complement each other. He a little bit flippy floppy, but she gonna have to be the anchor since he flippy floppy sometimes. Anyway, the pastor visits them and both of them don't have any complaints. They haven't had any arguments. He says that's gonna change. You're gonna have an argument, so you need to know how to deal with that. They say that they're going to walk away from the situation, write down notes, then come back to the situation, read the notes without being interrupted by the partner and without having so much anger and animosity that you had in the moment. Also, they have decided to they talked about finances. They talked about all of that stuff on like day 2 so they could get over it. They really have like the same way of thinking pretty much. A joint account and then 2 separate bank accounts so they can still have their own money. The normal way of doing things. They're packing, and Stephanie says this is when it's going to become real life, okay? This is when it became real life because AJ said, "Chill the fuck out. I know you want to sit up here and take all this stuff down, but this is when I come back here, this is going to be my office. So I don't need you to be doing hither, thither, and yonder and be throwing everything in a box when I don't know what we need to take." So Stephanie said in her confessional that when AJ gets in the mood, she just first tries to make everything better, but if he gets too angry, it starts to make her uncomfortable, and she just, is like, "Okay, She was very much, he's like, "Okay, we can do things, you can do things your way, I can do things my way." He said something after he had that little blow up, and she was just like, "Yep, yep, yep." And I was like, if you can't tell that she is icing you, well, she's not icing you, but she's very cut and dry with you. She is extremely not in the mood. We see Jasmine and Will. They go to Will's house. She brings her doggy Bentley. The house looks nice. He says that he set low expectations in the room, at the hotel room. So he says he set low expectations in the hotel room. So when she came back here, she saw that it looked nice. She would be pleasantly surprised. I mean, great. You always set, if you don't have any expectations, then you aren't disappointed. So he did it correctly. Jasmine is ready to have children, so when they go see his medals and she sees that he has a certificate for being the best uncle, that warms her heart because she knows that he, is a kid friendly, is a, I don't know what I can't think of the word. He's a kid person, okay? He likes kids. He's good with kids. There it goes. The pastor comes to visit them and they talk about the financial situation. She says she got it down to 60-40, 60 for him, 40 for her. The pastor says, you do know that you might be making more money than him, right? And she was like, but he's the man, that's how my family did it, blah, blah, blah. And he says, I do understand that, but how do you know that traditional is the best way? You should try to work out something that's going to be good for your marriage and not just, what you think is good or what worked for your parents' marriage. So she's like, yeah, I do need to think about that and work on that. The pastor then asks them, have they had sex? And they both say no. Jasmine wants to have sex, but she wants Will to initiate it. Will is like, I'm not going to have sex right now because I don't know her as well as I would like to know her, and I just don't want to rush into anything. The pastor is like, so you guys are like still like husband and wife, right? Y'all like not in a friend zone, right? And they're like, no, we're not. And he's like, okay, I just don't want you to think that this is buddy buddy. Like this is husband and wife. Y'all are married. I want you to know that married things can happen between you two. So they have a conversation about that after the pastor leaves. I think it's the next day when they go to Jasmine's house to start packing. And Will says that he is sexually attracted to her. He does care about her. He does love her. He just wants to take it slowly. Jasmine is getting on my nerves though because she wants so desperately for a man to lead. She wants so desperately for those traditional gender roles that she's letting it impede her. And when I say that, it's like, okay, if you want to have sex with this nigga, bust it down. Like dead ass. Like that nigga get home, have on just a robe, have on a trench coat, take off the trench coat, and you butt naked. Okay. If that's what you want, then you need to do it. Because if you're going to continue to wait for him to do it, he might be like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. And what if he did it and you wasn't ready? Was you going to stop it? So even though y'all both could stop it if y'all are not ready to do it, if you want to do it, then do it. And he says when they're laying in the bed after they pack, after they move into their home, he says that he wants to have sex with her, but he's not going to do it now since the pastor told them to do it. He wants to wait, and he also wants it to be a surprise. I think that she should just bust it down. That's all I got to say. Okay? And our least favorite person, the sloth and Kate. So, okay. Next, we see the sloth and Kate. So the pastor comes and he sits down with Kate and he says, Kate, tell me what the sloth said. And Kate says, well, the sloth said to me that he was repulsed and disgusted. And the pastor looked and said, I know this nigga did. He said, okay. So has he said anything else to you that has made you feel, bad? She said, no, that's it. Everything else is good. She said, he's like, okay, do you want to be in this relationship still? She's like, I know that it was a risk, I know that my husband, like, either one of us could go into this and not like each other. So I do want to continue to make this work. So the pastor is like, okay. Let me talk to Luke. I'm sorry. Bring the sloth in. So the sloth come down, the sloth sit on the couch. And so he like, so tell me what happened on the pastor is like, so tell me what happened on your honeymoon. He like, it was cool, it was good. The sloth says in the confessional that he doesn't want to discuss everything that's happened. Why? Why don't you want to discuss it, sloth? Anyway, the pastor was like, okay, yeah, well, that's good, but tell me about y'all's kiss. And so he's like, the kiss that we had, tell me about y'all kiss. He like, the kiss that we had at our reception. He like, no, tell me about the other kiss. Oh. And then he just stare at him, and the pastor stare at him, and they just stared at one another. And he's like, you told her that you felt repulsed? and dead inside. And he was like, I mean, he was looking real sweaty. Okay. Sloth was looking real sweaty. And I was just like, Kate, lead this nigga. He don't even want to open up his mouth and say what he said to you, to this man. Like, I'm confused. But the pastor was like, listen here, let me tell you something. Don't do that shit no more. Okay? You're going to treat her with respect. You're not going to say anything that's abusive. You're not going to say anything that's rude. Or you can get the hell on out of here, okay? Do you hear me? You're not going to be rude. Yeah, I know. He's like, shut up. You got siblings? Yeah, I got two sisters. You're protective of them? Of course I'm protective. So you would realize how rude it is if somebody said to your sisters, you're ugly, I hate you, I'm dead inside. Because that's basically what you said to her. When you said I feel repulsed and dead inside, you said I hate you, you're ugly, and I'd rather kill myself than be in this marriage. Because that's what I would hear. Me, camera, an individual, I would hear him say, I feel dead inside, I'm repulsed, and I would be like, oh my gosh, he gonna go slit his wrist. Anybody watch Family Guy? When Meg asked that man out, asked that boy out from high school, and he was like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be in the hospital, and then he jumped out a window. That's how Luke. That's how you making me feel. Like you just want to jump out a fucking window. So Luke. Sorry. The sloth is like, it's just like I felt a little bit like, forced, and she was drinking, and so that the situation was intensified. First of all, did he say there were drinks involved or she was drinking? Because don't put this on her drinking, okay? And I don't like that, because now it's like, oh, well, I was kind of forced to do it. You weren't forced to kiss someone. Even if she asked you for a kiss, you are a grown ass sloth. You can do what the fuck you want to do. I'm confused. The pastor asks, do you find her undesirable? He says, no, not 100%. So is there a way to salvage this? He's like, of course. Yeah, of course. Then he started getting so nonchalant, it pissed me off. Because it's like, Luke, do you understand that you said to this woman that you hated her and you would rather jump out of a window than kiss her? Do you realize that you said that? So people ain't coming at you weird. People aren't coming at you like disrespectful. People are coming at you how you came at her. You're ugly. Now people are saying, what the fuck? You can't say that to her. And you're like, oh no, yeah, I know. Yeah, I would never say that to her. But you just opened up your mouth and said it. So I'm really confused as to where Luke is coming from. But the pastor said, hey, treat her with respect. If you say you're going to do it, do it. Okay? He brought Kate in. Kate and him sat down. Both of y'all want to do this. Both of y'all want to go forward. Don't be stupid. And Kate, slap that nigga if you got to. Okay? Or just leave. Because his hair is about to dwindle off in a second anyway. So I'm really confused. I don't really know. Then I'm not digging in my nose. I have a nose. When they move into the apartment, Kate is a little bit nervous about that because she's like, now that I know who this man is, I'm nervous about us moving in together because I don't know how the environment is going to go. She keeps just looking so done with him. Like she looked done with him. Like when they were on the plane leaving Costa Rica and he turned the camera to her, she just was like, you're not ready. Don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Go ahead, find someone else. That's literally how she was looking. Like, fuck you. Like, honestly. So Luke is trying to make her feel better. He bought her 2 bottles of wine, even though he said that the drinking intensified the behavior. I don't know. Luke said that he wants her to trust him, and she said that they had a conversation and that they're gonna, try to work it out. So I just see Kate's cute light dwindling. I see like that that cuteness that she had, that look in her eye, that smile. I just see all of that dwindling. And she's going from Cindy Who to the real life actual Grinch. And you're turning her into the Grinch. And it's not right. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that to Cindy. You're not. Okay? So with that, I am done. I'm done. Okay? I have to apparently get dressed. I gotta eat. I have to eat. I got to get dressed. I got to, do a whole bunch of stuff. And I got to clean up this house for my man's birthday. Even though we not going to be doing nothing because it's cold as hell. But I'm going to do something for him. I got to go to Giant Eagle. Oh, oh. I'm going to make a cake because I'm not paying for one. If y'all like this review, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram. You can subscribe to my Patreon. You can do all of that. Okay? My name is Brielle. I make beats. I sing songs. If you like what you see, come on along. Bye.